Good morning, YouTube. Matthew back here with you today. I'd said in my last video that if the mail carrier got here early enough yesterday on Monday, that I would do a video but my mail carrier, because of all the snow we got, uh, the mail did not get here till like 6 p.m. It was after dark when my mail carrier arrived, and that's because of how bad the conditions were. We didn't have as much snow as like people in southern Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia got, but we had had a system before that system. I'm going to show you real quick. We have snow, and the roads are in decent condition now because they've been plowed and salted. At the same time, we're getting, you seen, I don't know if you can see there, it's pumping down snow again. And we're getting a third round of it after having snow. It snowed every day, at least a little. We've had at least like a half inch to an inch every day since like Thursday. So, and now it's Tuesday. So, we've not had a big snow here, which I'm thankful because I've lived through some like foot and a half snows here in Northeast Ohio. I've only been, I lived the majority of my life in Virginia or North Carolina, but I've lived here like this 7.5 years to eight, going on 8 years now, and I've lived through some major snows. It's not fun, and but we're really cold. We're only like 21 degrees for a high today. I think 21, 22, somewhere in there. Low tonight is going to be 7 degrees. It's only like 18 right now, but it's still early in the morning. We're not going to get that warm, and we're not going to get above freezing this week. On into the weekend, our highs are topping out like 28, 29 degrees. Next week, I think we finally make it back up in the 30s, but it's going to be towards the end of next week. So we've got a long, cold stretch here. But anyway, it's a good time when it's cold. You're not able to do really anything outside. It's a good time to enjoy baseball cards. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I had three big hits come in. Uh, I'm saying hits like if I'm busting packs. Sorry about that. I had three big pickups. Now, two of these are major Hall of Fame autographs for the 88 Tops project. And this other one is a Hall of Famer. It's not autographed, but it is a short print serial numbered PSA graded card. It's not that big a deal to a lot of people because it's not that high grade, but at the same time, I mean, it's not like it's a Jim Mint 10, but at the same time, I'm an Indians fan, and this is the greatest Indian that there ever was, in my opinion. So, it's a big deal to the collection, a short print and all. Also, I had, besides those pickups, I have one TTM come in that ends up being for the 88 Tops project, and I had three other recent pickups for the 88 Tops project. So we had a big mail day. I also had some one touch magnet holders come in, a case of 50. My mail carrier, it was like dark. It's like 6 p.m. and my mail carrier is trying to lug all this crap out of the truck on the curb and bring it up and throw it on my porch because that was mainly the big one. All these were not regular bubble mailers, but the big box of she was trying to bring that big box of magnet one touches, and it wasn't that big of a box, but you think about it, it was like it's down in the teens, windchill's like in the single digits, feels like in the single digits, and I got all this mail, and that's not counting any other mail. This is not counting any other mail, not counting junk mail, stuff like that, and there's my trash truck coming through. But anyway, we're going to move right on in. I'm going to show the TTM first. We'll start with the bottom tier first and go up to the bigs. Okay. This guy, former, um, I remember this guy well when I was a kid because I loved his teammate. Mike Schmidt was his teammate. I got four cards signed by Larry Boa, former longtime Philadelphia Phillies shortstop. He was also on a very great Cubs team in 1984 that won the National League East. And he managed the San Diego Padres for a while. He also was a longtime coach for a few different teams. He signed in Blue Sharpie 87 Tops traded, his 84 Tops um, when he was still playing. And then I already had this for the 88 Tops project, but I sent another one He signed this 88 tops, and I'm sorry if that's not showing up good. When I do videos in this room on this camera in the morning, it's so overcast and so dark that when I turn the light on and the glare seems to really reflect bad on these and the signature don't show up. This is not the greatest card as far as for signing. I mean, you can see that he signed, but like this card right here, that blue Sharpie autograph shows up better, and so does greatly on that one. It really depends when you pick out cards to send to guys, unless you're building a particular set or something. It's better, you can tell what's going to look good. Like a card like that with that white uniform, even if he signed in black Sharpie, it's going to really pop and look good on that card. Um, and the last card he signed for me, and I know some out there are going to say, why would you send this card to get signed? Because he's not pictured on the card. But Larry Boa signed this 88 tops San Diego Padres team leaders card. Well, no, Larry Bowa is not pictured on it, but he was the manager of the Padres that year, during that 87 season. And because of that, he managed these guys. Now, that pictured is Tony Gwynn and Benito Santiago, the two stars on that team. Now, Gwynn has been passed away for several years, sadly, and Santiago, who used to be a great through the mail signer several years ago, is not so easy to get by mail anymore. And I just decided for right now, I've seen other people that in groups I'm in on Facebook that do the same thing. It's a team leaders card, okay? No matter who's pictured, this is a team leaders card. And on the back, they put stats, the team leaders, like Tony Gwynn basically led every hitting category except for home runs and runs batted in, which was John Kruk. Um, Eric Schau and Eddie Whitson seemed to be the main pitchers, that they had that year as far as team leaders. But anyway, Larry Bowa signed it clearly. And I got the idea from a guy that had took a Royals team leaders card that had George Brett and Brett Saberhagen pictured. He sent it to John Wathan, who was the Royals manager, during the time that this set was made. John Wathan signed it. Well, this counts. It is an autographed card, another autograph card down for the 88 Tops project. So, you know, it does count, and I'm happy with that for a team leaders card for now. Then does that now also, if you watch my videos when I started sharing the 88 Tops project, I've got like the Texas Rangers team leaders. The picture on that card has like 5 or 6 guys. I've got 3 different examples of it. One signed by Peter Bryan, who was in the picture. One by Bobby Valentine, the manager, and one is signed by I don't forgot who else now. There was somebody else though that I had um, the card autographed by. Might be Pete Incaviglia. I'm not sure, but anyway, not without digging through and looking in the box. But anyway, another one down there, and that was a nice TTM. I actually wrote to Mr. Boa, and I mailed this out like December 20th. Okay, now he lives in Pennsylvania, and I'm on the border of Pennsylvania here in Northeast Ohio, so not really a long return time. Okay, now these 3 here, 2 of them are group pickups on Facebook and fire sales that I picked up. The other one was an eBay purchase. Um, Daryl Boston. I don't know how good that's going to show up in the top load, but signed in blue Sharpie. If I angle it with the light from the window, it helps. Daryl Boston, long time White Sox outfielder, and he played for the New York Mets, New York Yankees as well, Colorado Rockies. He was a original Rocky, but anyway, signed in blue Sharpie. Former 1984 Olympic team member Shane Mack, who was a first round pick and highly touted prospect back in the mid 80s. He signed in black Sharpie. These were pretty cheap. Not gonna lie, I got them pretty cheap, which this project is an expensive project, and more so than one would think. To start with, the first several hundred autographs I got were all through the mail, request for free, players signing for free, not costing anything but a couple of stamps. Now, that was not that bad. But when you start trying to finish out the rest of the set with guys that do not sign by mail or are harder to get by mail, it runs up. So I was tickled when anytime I can fill a hole in the set for less than $3 or less, I'm thrilled because that's what these two right here were. Cheaper. And That's why I'm not upset about that Larry Boa team leaders card. Even though he wasn't on it, he was still the Padres manager. And the reason I'm not upset is because it eliminates the need for another. I don't know why this seller here, he put up, he's got my name on here, but he wrote my name down. But I'm going to block out my last name right now. But the seller's guarantee certificate of authenticity. Now, for one thing, this, for you newer collectors, any seller on eBay that says, oh, it's got a COA, chances are if they say it's got a COA, that means they're going to send you something like this, a stupid little card where they're saying that they guarantee its authenticity. And this says sellers guarantee the above described item was sold to, and he wrote my name on it. And it's got a phone number that he can be reached at if anybody wants to verify the authenticity of this autograph. No, I didn't buy it because it had that. I, I bought it because I could tell by looking at it it was authentic. Mike Lavery, Blue Sharpie. I'm going to take it out of the sleeve because this is a beautiful autograph by Lavery. He is very tough to get. Does not do TTM. Um, I mean, for years, I've been looking, when I started doing through the mail autographs, this guy was a very popular catcher for some very good pirate teams when I was a kid, or when I was growing up, teenage years, even. But I had, looked to write to him several times, and there was no successes. Every time somebody would come up with a new address to try to write to him, no successes. And so he pretty much was the type of guy that personal appearances, like for the team, or like where he was paid to do card shows and doing signings like that. Good signer, but you wasn't going to get him by mail. So I was tickled to get this. This was like a $5 range. But that's about it. When it comes to common players, I'll be honest with you, that is the most I want to spend if I can help it. But some of these guys, I'm getting to that point in the set. I hate to say it, but a point in the set where um, it's not going to be that easy. And even though that I have eliminated some really tough, hard to get deceased player autographs for the project, um, I'm getting to that point where I'm down to the players that refuse to sign, um, or are deceased, and even there's still several that are deceased and hard to get that I don't have for the set. Um, I'm not giving up, saying I'm going to give up on the project, but I'm getting to a point where I might have to start looking at realizing that this is going to be a long project that might take years. It's definitely going to take years. Even if you had all the, because there's some cards in this set that even if you've got all the money in the world, there's only a handful of the cards autographed in existence, and because players refuse to sign. Anyway, I know I'm long-winded today. The last three things that come in the mail are the biggest pickups. Carlton Fisk, Hall of Famer. This isn't a one-touch, and the way I do one-touches of a card like this, um, it's in the one-touch magnet holder, but it's also, I put it in a team bag to protect the magnet holder from getting scuffed up. But it's signed in blue Sharpie. This is his older signature, and Fisk, Hall of Fame catcher. There we go. Now that look, you can see it really good. The difference in his older signature compared to his signature now is the F in Fisk. Um, Nowadays, like a Fisk charges $50 to sign a baseball card, and nowadays his current signature, the F in Fisk, will be like a line straight down, and then he'll take and make a line through the middle of it for the F. But in his this signature is more like what it looked like for years, going all the way back to more like his playing days, so to speak, almost. Because I've seen plenty of slabbed, authenticated examples, both PSA and SGC. That F, instead of the two different lines, this on this particular autograph here, he took the F. He come down with a line and then he circles around and goes through for the F. But that is a difference to some people, younger autograph collectors, they will automatically say, "Oh, that's fake." No, this is not fake. This is his signature. And I did look and compare to a lot of authenticated ones, but I got this from a guy who I'm not worried about it. I got it from a guy, a long time collector, and I see a ton of Hall of Fame guys like this autographs in through the mail Facebook groups. And one thing about being in those groups, I can automatically take a photograph, a screenshot of this with my phone, post it in a group. What do you guys think? And these guys will pop up and they'll, in the comments, like they'll give me their opinion. Now, some guys will say that's fake. I got an autograph from Fisk in the mail last month. Uh, my Fisk, they'll always say, like I've seen it in other ones, they'll say, mine looks different than that. But players' autographs change over time. And what I mean is, people's handwriting changes over time, but players change how they sign over time. At any rate, I was thrilled to get this. The guy I got it from sold it to me at a good deal. I did not pay anything close to $50 that it would have costed to get Fisk to sign this by mail. And while some people might say, well, you would know for sure it came from Fisk if you wrote to him. Well, I'm not a bit worried. Some of the guys that told me that this was legit, that they felt it was legit, um, I trust them. They've been in the hobby way longer than me. They're older than me, but I had a couple of guys that know their stuff tell me that they wouldn't even hesitate about sending this in to be authenticated if I wanted to. So I picked that up, and I've got less than, like I said, he charges $50 by mail. I got less than $20 in that. I bought it in a. This guy was posting fire sale stuff, needed money bad, and I took and messaged him privately because he was asking 25 for this, and there was a time that's what Fisk would charge you to sign. It was like $25. There was a time years ago, and anyway, I messaged him privately and talked to him, and he was like, "I need this and I need that." And what I did, um, at the time, I had like $18 or something in PayPal, and some change. And I told him, I said, "I'll give you what I got in PayPal right now." And I told him what I had, and he said, "Okay." So I got it really dirt cheap for a Hall of Famer like Fisk. Now this is the big one. Sorry about that. I was looking at my camera. This is the biggest one. I'm going to save it till last. We'll come back to it. Um, this one right here I got. This was bargain. Now, like this right here, like for the project, yeah, I'm going to end up paying a little bit more, but this was a bargain. Dirt cheap. This is the biggest bargain. This other one I paid basically what you would expect. But this right here, Bob Feller, like I said, this is the Indian I was talking about, PSA graded. Um, I think the greatest Indian that ever lived. I think this is a beautiful card. You can Let me move my camera up here and see if the light helps a little bit better with this card. It is a beautiful card. I love that gold color, rainbow color background. It is only a PSA 7, but it is serial numbered. I don't know if that's showing up or not. It's out of 100, I think. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's numbered 29 out of 100. I'm sorry. I had it upside down on that number, the stamp. But it is serial numbered on the edge down there. And again, it's not showing up. It's on his shoulder right there, though. But anyway, only a PSA 7. Here is the back. Even the back of this card is pretty. Um, I don't know how good that's showing up, but it's got pretty color. I love this card, and when I seen it, um, and this was like one of these mega sellers on eBay, Four Sharp Corners. Um, but this was from Probstein. I'm sorry. Uh, Four Sharp Corners pops in my mind because they got so much on eBay right now. But Probstein auctions, and nobody had bid on this. When I found it, it still had a couple of days left, and I put in a max bid. It was 99-cent start bid. Shipping was $4, and $4 and something change. But you got to realize, even though this card isn't high dollar value to somebody that collects Indians, the greatest Indian that ever was, this is a nice card. Um, this was the Nolan Ryan of his generation, and being serial numbered and that just that beautiful color. I fell in love with it. I said, well, I'd done the start bid, 99 cents, and then I did after I did that. I thought, what's the most I would give for that in a PSA 7? And I thought, I'm going to be. I said I just thought somebody will outbid me because but the market's going down. And a lot of people, a lot of dealers try to tell you right now, no, the car market is great. It's still great. It's still just like when it was during COVID. No, it's not. The car market, honestly, is going down. It's going back down just like it was before COVID, just like it had been since the boom of the 80s. When the car market bottomed out in the 90s, the car market has bottomed out again. It's just and little by little, it's reflecting. But I put in a max bid of $2. $2. I figured somebody would bid more than that because altogether, counting shipping, I was really going to pay $7 and some change, and it costs $10 to get a car graded like this. You got to realize. So I'm figuring somebody's going to outbid me on this. Somebody that's a Bob Feller fan or somebody collects Hall of Famers. Nobody outbid me. I was surprised because my phone buzzed and I forgot I'd even placed a bid because, like I said, when I found it, it was like a couple of days left, and I ended up getting that for the PC. So that'll fit nicely in with some other graded cards of Bob Feller. I got some authenticated autographs of Bob Feller. That'll go nicely with that. And now the last pickup that came in yesterday, and this is the biggest one. This is for the 88 Tops project, and this is to me, the most important card of the whole set because this is my favorite player when I was a kid. Michael Jack Schmidt. Schmidt, 500 home run member, one of the best defensive third basemen ever, if not the best. A lot of people's going to say Brooks Robinson, but in my lifetime, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Robinson was retired when I was a real little boy, and I don't remember seeing him play. I remember him broadcasting, but I remember all the highlights. I know he won a lot of gold gloves. Schmidt won a lot of gold gloves, but in my lifetime, there was nobody better than Schmidt at third base. So, like I said, that's my era, though. But best third baseman definitely defensively in my era. And there was no third baseman that hit for more power than Mike Schmidt. Two-time MVP or three-time MVP winner and Hall of Famer. And this is not graded. The autograph is not graded, just a PSA authentic, which is honestly why I was able to get this. If somebody that sent this into PSA had them grade paid the extra fee to have them graded, I'm seeing stuff like yesterday. I noticed somebody posted a Dale Murphy, 88 Tops Dale Murphy, who is not in the Hall of Fame, though I think he should be, in my opinion. Definitely Hall of Fame for 1980s era. But Dale Murphy, it was an autographed card of Dale Murphy. The card itself was so off center, I would never have even sent it to Murphy to get it autographed because Murphy charges I think it's $20 through Pass Pros, and I need Murphy for the set. Murphy's one though that I'm probably going to end up eventually when I get down to where I'm struggling to finish out the set. I'll probably just send him to Pass Pros and get him through Pass Pros for the $20 fee. I hate to because you got to pay. Besides his $20, you got to pay Pass Pros a little bit, but at least you know it's real. And I hate to buy a raw Murphy. Murphy is one that maybe not so much today, but I know back in the 80s when I was a kid collecting, and in the 90s when I was in high school, early 90s when I was in high school and stuff, and I still really collected, there's a lot of fake Murphy autographs out there. There is a lot of fake Schmidt autographs out there to this day, which the people will still try to forge his because he's a Hall of Famer. But this was authenticated already. If it had been graded though, the autograph, like that Murphy one that I saw, they were asking like $100 for an authenticated Dale Murphy autograph, and I'm like, wait a minute, it cost you $20 to get it autographed. It cost you $20 to authenticate it, and you're wanting to make $60 profit. Now I know guys selling on eBay, a lot of them are trying to make a living at it, but I'm like, why would I do that when I can just write to the guy myself through Pass Pros and get him for $20 plus, the Pass Pro fee and the shipping, But anyway, that's how I would feel about this one. I have seen Mike. There was one or two comps. I looked up comps. There was a couple of PSA DNA Schmidts that were tens, graded 10 off. Like the autograph, a 10 grade that had sold for way over $100. And I got this one. The seller that listed it, and I got to tell you what, I know people say don't buy from. Some people say don't buy anything from anybody if they're not somebody with at least 1,000 feedback on eBay, and I hear that all the time. And that's why these people like Probstein auctions and Four Sharp Corners get more for. You could take the same card, put it through them, they'd sell it for 30% more. And the reason why is because they got so many people. Oh, well, they've been in it, blah, blah, blah. They got this many hundreds of thousands of positive feedback. But if you look at the negative feedback, there's a lot of times when you have a power seller, unfortunately, when you do that much volume in sales, you're going to send people the wrong card sometimes. You're going to mess up sometimes. That does happen. The guy that I bought this from had honestly less than 300 feedback. He had a lot of stuff listed, maybe about 100 listings. He had some nice stuff. He had this listed. He had just listed it the day I bought it. And when I seen it and I seen his starting price, it already had like 5 watchers. I put it on my watch list and I knew what I had in the bank at the time. I went and put $100 in the bank so that I could take and try to buy this because I knew I'm going to buy this. He added a buy it now price of less than $100. But it also said make best offer. Once I walked out of the bank and I already had that notification on my phone that the deposit had went through because I didn't have that much money in the bank at the time. And that day when I seen he had posted it, and I made a special trip to go to the bank to deposit a little bit more money that day because I said I'm going to buy that card. And I didn't have enough money in PayPal at the time combined with what I had in the bank. I did, but it was going to be like leaving me with like pocket change in the bank, or like just a few bucks in the bank. So I went ahead and took $100 and deposited it in the bank, and I sent the guy an offer. Um, and normally I don't tell what I pay for stuff, but the guy had this listed $89.99 plus it was like four something shipping or best offer. I sent him an offer of $75 and he accepted. And that was 15 less than he was asking for. And to me, that was a little bit of an inexperienced guy because when I made him the offer, counting myself, he had 6 people watching the card. He had just uploaded the listing that day. And with 6 people watching, he could have just sit back and waited. There was a good chance he could have sold it for the asking price of $89.99. Honestly, because of what I've seen these sell for, not everyone I've seen come up in the last since I started this project has went for well over $100. Or there's a few more listed on eBay right now that are the sellers are asking 150, 170, but they're graded. The autograph is graded 10. This one is it's an authentic auto. It's not graded, but the autograph is beautiful, blue Sharpie. The card is well centered, or well decent centered. It's a little bit off top to bottom, but I mean it's a nice looking card. And to get that, that's this is like the Nolan run, and this was one of the home runs that I wanted to knock out for the set. But I'm going to tell you what. I mean, to some people, and to me, it's a lot of money for one card, autographed, authenticated. That's a lot of money to me. I mean, because of the fact that I've always been such a bargain hunter, and I grew up during a time when everything was so much cheaper. But I know, you know, to some people, $18 is a lot for an autograph of a Hall of Famer. To me, knowing what he charges, knowing there's no other way I'd get it for the set, it's not. But I'm luckily blessed. I've been blessed enough to where I was able to pull the trigger, run to the bank, put a little bit of money in the bank to make, mainly because I didn't want to. I knew what I had in PayPal at that moment, and I knew what I had in the bank, and I wasn't planning on going to the bank for another few days. But I knew if I bought that card, it was going to leave me with, you know, less than $10 in the bank. even adding what I had, because I didn't have hardly nothing in PayPal, where I've been buying stuff from Facebook groups. So I made a special trip to run to the bank just that day because I knew that was not going to be up there long. There's too many people trying to collect this set right here. So anyway, that was a big, this along with the Rhine were big hits for me recently. And before I end this video, and I'm sorry it's longer, but that was a huge mail day. The 88 Tops project. This, what I just showed you, puts me up to 490 cards autographed for the 88 Tops regular set out of 792 cards, and 69 autographed out of the traded set, which is 132 cards. That means I need 290 more cards signed to complete the entire set autographed, and 62 more traded cards signed for the traded set. That's still a lot. I mean, even though I put such a big dent in it, the set's so huge. That is a lot of cards needed. This is a big major project. And I have about 10 more, I think I counted last night, 10 more cards that have not come in. Right now I don't have anything else graded or authenticated, slabbed, coming in for the 88 project. But I have a lot of smaller players coming in, about 10 more right now that I know are going to be coming in with some other stuff. So my videos on this 88 Tops project are going to get less because I'm at that point. I'm going to do a video later this week. I'm going to show the cards that I don't have signed, which is all in just one row in that box. The first video I showed a box. One side was unsigned, one side was signed of the complete set. This is just down to one row now on what's unsigned, but for the regular set. But the players, I'm going to show you a lot of them are deceased and very tough to get, or they're just guys. The biggest problem is the guys that are not deceased. They're not deceased. They just refuse to sign at all, and they always have, and they're the hardest ones to get. And you'll be amazed if I've seen people putting together the 87 Tops baseball set autographed, and bidding wars for guys like Jeff Dedman, who is a guy that historically, even in his playing days, refused to sign autographs. And there was one of his autographs that recently, not that long ago, sold on eBay. It was Beckett authenticated. I think it went for almost $300. The guy was a mediocre relief pitcher, but because his autograph is so hard to find, it went for that. Another guy that's passed away now, Mesa Garcia, who was a pretty good second baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays back in the early 80s, that guy refused to sign, and he's passed away now. And an authenticated PSA 1987 Tops Mesa Garcia went for over $600. He's in the 88 Top set with the Braves, pitcher with the Braves. I'll never get that card signed. There was one listed on eBay a couple of weeks ago. The guy was asking a starting bid of almost 280 some dollars. No. So I'm not saying I'll never put together the set, but the odds of finishing the entire set are unlikely. So the project is really what I had said, how many can I get signed for the set? But over time, as I get more cards signed, I will do videos and add them to this playlist, 88 Tops uh, project. But coming up soon, you're going to be seeing me do more videos with pickups like stuff like this for just basic collection and other little projects and TTMs, because I'm always going to do through the mail returns and see like this right here, if I could have done just a TTM return video on just the Larry Boa, if that was all that had came in. But anyway, I know this is the longest video I've done in a while, but like I said, it was a long mail day, had a lot to discuss. Thank you all for watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel, like, share, subscribe, check out my other videos, and we'll be back again soon. If not tomorrow, probably be back Thursday, if not tomorrow. So anyway, thank you again for watching. Everyone have a great day.